Welcome to the Beyond Physio Podcast, where we help you move, excel, and inspire others on your journey to your next level with knowledge and advice from experts and testimonials from our like-minded community. Becca, it's been a great pleasure getting to know you not only in the profession that you're in and having sampled your services, which have been really great, by the way. I think I told you I had my best run in a while after that session. So thank you so much.
That was really, I always enjoy hearing that stuff. I'm like, my job is done.
Yes. So Becca, I want you to tell our audience who you are, what you do, and let's go into the session, into the podcast now.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on here. This is my second podcast, so this is pretty cool. But yes, I own Refit Therapy Fitness Recovery. The name sometimes is a little confusing because sometimes people think, oh, she only works with athletes or people in the fitness industry, but I kind of work with people all walks of life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in downtown Raleigh. I'm right by Glenwood South.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm a massage therapist. I am a certified personal trainer, so I get to add that to my scope. It's functional movements that people can do to help relieve some pain. And then I also just recently got certified in fitness nutrition. So
Nice.
I think roll all that in together to start at the base of like recovery when I talk to people.
Yeah. You know what I noticed that was very unique about your session was just how much talking we did about what was going on with my background and then diving into the things that I do. And also being very detailed in the questions that you asked as your questionnaire and what injuries I've had in the past. I think it was good because actually, when I went for your massage therapy session, I felt like I was not only taken care of well, but I thought that you had a really good intuitive understanding of kind of the areas that I felt I needed to have some work done without even me telling you. So I noticed you spend some time in certain areas. Oh, that's exactly, I didn't have to say anything, which is nice. So it tells me anyway that you are definitely a master of your craft.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I try and the questionnaire is a little overwhelming and sometimes it changes at each session. I have some clients that come in and we work on the same areas because they're runners or they're preparing for something. And then some clients, it's like Russian roulette. It's what are we working on today? And it's exciting to do that. But yeah, it's one of those things where people don't realize if you're having back and shoulder pain and then you're like, we're going to be working the pecs and you catch them off guard. But I really enjoy educating people and communicating with people and telling them like what we're going to do during the session and why we're doing it. Because I feel like people are more receptive to using instruments and using cups because then they're understanding why we're doing that.
Absolutely. And I think the why is really important, especially because people have had a massage before. They might have gone to, say, Massage Envy, for example.
Sure.
And it's a very different experience there versus going to someone who's a business owner, but someone who also really focuses on the client like you do versus like the mill style. Let me just get them in and sort of thing.
And that's what I always stress to people too, is that's why I opened up Refit is I personally always had the experience of, okay, I have lower back pain. I want to go get a massage. I want to feel good afterwards. And no shade on the massage industry or other massage therapists, but I would always find myself leaving with this sense of they only spent 10 minutes on my back. I booked 90-minute sessions. I should have more time. That was when you go in and they're like, what's bothering you? What do you want to focus on? And you say my lower back and they only spend 10 minutes there. It's really disheartening. I feel like I've wasted my money. I've wasted my time. And then I have this like sense of like sadness because I'm like, now I have to go like another like 2 weeks with back pain on top of everything else. And so it took that for me to be like, okay, I need to open up a place that specifically focuses on why people are coming to a massage therapist.
I love
and
that.
That's with the help of another massage therapist that had a similar practice here before she moved to Wilmington. And I even communicated with her afterwards and was like, hey, this is what I'm looking at for opening a business. And she was like, heck yeah.
It's really cool. It's great to have other colleagues in the profession who share the same vision that you do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It should never be competitive.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's get into your journey because obviously you didn't start off as a massage therapist, but what led you to take that journey? You've had a very athletic past. We can go into that. And then how did that get to where you are with Refit?
Yeah. I guess the Cliff Notes is I've always been an athlete, 10 years cheerleading, 6 years recreational volleyball. I've tried track. I tried soccer. I tried basketball. I've tried softball. Wasn't very good at those, but cheerleading and volleyball like held my heart. But it took that and like even outside of athletics, I would go to the gym. I always liked having a healthy lifestyle. I always liked being active. And then I had 2 orthopedic surgeries. I had a left labrum repair, left meniscus tear.
And that's for the hip labrum?
Yeah. Wow. And it was awful. Like I went from being active all the time to nothing. And before that, I had gone to school for massage therapy back in 2010, got licensed, and I had always wanted to mold together the athletic part with massage therapy. And I just couldn't find a place to land. I couldn't find somewhere to go. Like no colleges were hiring, especially someone with no experience. And I was like, I don't want to work in a spa. I don't want to work in a dark room with waterfall music. That's just not me. I'm a people person. I'm lively. I want to talk to you during the session. So I didn't do it. I dropped out as far as doing that as a career. Went to vet med for 14 years.
Wow.
And I've always loved animals and I've always loved medicine. So that was like a really easy fit. It's medical terminology to me is like a second language. It's like a love language almost too. It's just, I just get it. It's like my husband who's in IT. I couldn't tell you what Kubernetes was, but
Me neither.
this is second language to him. I went into vet med. I got burnt out, tried to work from home. That was terrible because again, I'm a people person. So I did that for a year. And for years on the back of my mind, I was always like, I was so good at massage. I really want to get back in, but vet med had sucked me in and having 2 kids. So I'm postpartum with my second kid. And I told my husband, I was like, now's the time. It was just, I just woke up one day and was just like, today's the day. This is what I want to do. And he was like, okay. So I reinstated my license. I got my CPT online. I did all the tests. I passed. I potentially was going to work for someone else. I had a number in mind. He was like, I love you, but I can't afford you. And I was like, respect.
Yeah.
And my husband, I kid you not, I tell people this all the time. He was like, open up your own business.
Wow.
So that was actually his idea, was for me to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you sure? He was like, you know what you're doing. He's the human body. You know the anatomy. You're great with people. You're great at communication. He's like, it's a no-brainer.
That's
so
cool. Yeah.
Found a place, got my business name. My husband also created my business name.
So how did you come with Refit then?
I literally sat for 2 days and was like, okay, this is what I envision for my business, like what I'm doing now. I can't figure out what I want to do. My husband is so good at creating business names. It's disgusting. I'm like, I can't think of a business name. We're sitting on the couch and he goes, Refit Therapy. Like it was nothing.
That's so funny.
And I was like, are you kidding me? That's the best.
I feel like every business
And this was like
owner-
before like ChatGPT
Yeah,
like
exactly.
really took
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
And and I was just like, that's amazing.
That's awesome. I feel like every business owner needs that sort of like integrator person who can be supportive.
Oh, yeah.
And when you have that and you're married to that person, even better.
Especially too, we have 2 young kids. At the time I opened up Refit, we had an 18-month-old and they're 19 months apart. So we had like a 2-year-old and a 7-month-old.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I'm trying to round up business. My husband is literally like keeping the roof over our heads solely because we knew I wasn't going to pay myself for a while. Yeah. It was a big risk, but having that support system is huge. And both me and him are very like full send people. If you have an idea, like it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
And that really helps.
Definitely helps. Now, how did you start building from there? Because obviously you're going to this business on your own.
No clients.
How did you start growing from there?
So I do have to thank the Burn Boot Camp community in Garner. I started working out there when I was postpartum and opened up my business, and I got a lot of support from that community.
That's awesome.
Which was really nice. So that's what helped get my foot in the door. Now, the 2 weeks leading up to me opening, I went to every gym, yoga studio, apartment complex within a 2.5 mile radius and introduced myself. I gained like 1 client from that. But it was just like, you have to put yourself out there. You have to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You have to talk to people. You have to shake hands and hand them business cards, whether they want them or not. And I'm like, you are going to know who I am. But yeah, I think the combination of that and word of mouth and just social media too. I actually get clients from Instagram, interacting with people, messaging people, liking things, commenting, following, like all of those. It just adds up, and then you just have to make sure people know who you are. Like I said, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, talking to people that you don't know.
I love how you said that.
Yeah.
And as a business owner myself, obviously, one of the things I have valued about being a business owner is the kind of personal growth and development that happens along with that. I am by nature more of an introvert. So for me to come out of my shell to
Yeah.
become the person that my business needed, that was an evolution over many decades and
Yeah.
years. And for you as well, just getting into that seat of being uncomfortable, you said it so beautifully, where you have to be uncomfortable, be comfortable with uncomfortable if you want to make this happen.
Yeah. Even one of my best friends, shout out to Sierra, she really helped me with the social media stuff because I'm good at posting videos of just things like at work, but I was never comfortable putting my face on camera.
I feel you.
And she said it best. We had this women's group a couple of years ago, and I was just like, I'm struggling getting new clients. And I will always remember what she said. She goes, you have to put your face on camera. I want to see you. You're putting your hands on my body. I want to know who you are. And from then, it was full send the next day. I was on
Awesome.
stories every
Yeah.
single day, talking to people, putting videos up with my face on it. And she was like, oh, dang. I was like, you tell me to do it and I'm going to do it.
I love
So-
that. And it's funny because I'm the same way. I wanted to run my businesses without having to be the face of the business,
Yeah.
but realizing that everyone wants to know the face of the owner and what they stand for really turned my perspective on, okay, I have to do this stuff in order to make this work for all of our practices.
Yeah. It's like going to a restaurant and the owner comes around and
Yes.
checks in on you and says how things are and introduces himself.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. You're like, the owner of this business, as busy as he's taking the time to make sure I'm taken care of,
Yeah.
that's a huge deal to me.
Massively. Now, it's awesome to see you evolve and hearing about your story on how that happened. Can we go back into your model actually and your philosophy on Refit? Your recovery model goes beyond traditional massage therapy. And I would say for us, it's very similar. We're going beyond traditional PT. Can you break down what a holistic recovery service looks like in your world?
Yeah, I offer 30, 60, and 90-minute sessions. 30-minute, it's more if you have one hand or one foot, like a very small area. 60-minute is usually like 1 to 2 or 3 areas of concern, depending on how large or how extensive that issue is. And then 90-minute can range from 3+ areas to like just a full body, like athletic flush. And essentially the client comes in with an issue or concern, whether it's chronic or acute. And let's say lower back pain as an example. We talk about lifestyle. This person sits at a desk 8 hours a day, but also goes to the gym. And we start working on lower back, but I also communicate with them, okay, this is potentially why your lower back's hurting. You're sitting down for 8 hours a day. Your hip flexors are shortened. Your glutes and lower back muscles are extended all the time. So let's think about it like a stretched out rubber band. And let's try and get that fascia moving again. So it's through soft tissue manipulation, like massage. We do some like heated instrument work to
I
help.
love that.
That
awesome.
is a client favorite.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to Ached Away. It's like the best heated scraper.
Yeah, I've never
Um,
experienced that, which was the first I had with you.
It's
And
very
it was
new.
very different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very new. A lot of massage therapists that I follow are starting to incorporate that. And
Yeah.
it's nice to warm up those tissues before getting into like deep tissue work.
Yeah.
And then with that combination of that IASTM
Yeah.
and that collagen synthesis production to help that recovery. So you have all of that incorporated. And then once the tissues are nice and warmed up, and then usually there's cupping involved. I love cupping. It's
I
my
love
favorite.
cupping too. Yeah.
And sometimes it's stagnant cupping. I'll just have them like lay down. I'll have cups on the lower back while I'm doing some like pin and stretch with the glutes, like really getting that deep work in. Or I have them doing cat cows or toe touches to help get that fascial glide going again. And then sometimes we round it off with some kinesio tape and some topicals and send them on their way. So
I love that.
yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the active cupping as well, where you are
Love
incorporating movement with it.
Uh-huh.
It makes the session so much more effective. So I'm glad that you're actually doing it with your clients too.
Yeah. It's nice to, right now, like I just use resistance bands, but it's nice to, I had a kid who just recently started playing golf and you line up the back with the cups and then you take the resistance band and they're acting like they're actually striking the golf club. And he was like, I have no pain doing this. So that's always a great feedback when once you apply the cups, whether it's knee pain or back pain, and then they do the motion that normally causes them pain and they don't have the pain with the cups on, you're like, it's working.
Yes, exactly.
It's working.
And it's a really quick win for a client who might
Oh, yeah.
otherwise think that, oh, it's always hurting. And then they do something like that with you, Becca. And they're like, oh my gosh. So that positive feedback associated with you
Yep.
is really powerful.
Yeah. I love doing it.
Yeah. Let's go into preventive recovery. For anyone out there, we all know that we work with runners and hybrid athletes over the age of 40, are the main population of clients we work with. And so for guys, gals in my age category, being 50 now, prevention is key. And my biggest message to all of our audience is staying ahead of injury, especially as you're getting older. And if you live an active lifestyle, is the most important way to, quote unquote, minimize risk of injury. So in your philosophy, I know we have preventive recovery. Can we talk more about that, especially for people like us who are super active and athletic?
I think preventative is still a hump, at least for me, that I'm trying to get my clients into. I think as a society and as a whole, I think we're very much reactive.
Yes.
And not so much proactive.
I might include myself in that
yeah,
sometimes.
I'm saying, like, I'm texting my massage therapist, do you have anything tomorrow? I tweaked my back.
Yeah.
Even though I still get monthly work done. But no, it is hard. And as far as preventative, my normal schedule that I put people on is every 4 weeks. Like, unless there's like an acute injury and maybe I need to see you every 2 weeks for a couple of sessions. For the most part, it's every 4 weeks. People tend to respond really well. They're like, I felt great for 3, starting to feel a little achy into the 4th week. So that's usually like a good timeline. But it's still hard to get that preventative care in and just tell people like, hey, don't wait until you get hurt to see me. But also incorporating going to the gym and strength training. Sleep is huge, and nutrition. And I love food. And I've worked with a registered dietitian. That's what made me fall in love a little bit even more, because I started to feel better and train better and sleep better once I got that foundation of like nutrition on lock, which I think is super key. So I think it's just like anything, right? It's like a list of things. Like, how do you get through your day because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G? It's just like recovery. It's not just PT. It's not just massage. It's not just going to the gym and getting strong and big. It is everything. And if it's a true lifestyle change in order to help prevent those injuries.
You said all that beautifully. And so my personal mission is for helping people to enhance their longevity. And you just checked off all those buttons, basically. The nutrition, of course, the sleep, making sure you get strength training in there as well. And especially for our runners and hybrid athletes out there who don't get enough of all those elements and wonder why they're always either fatigued, why they're always getting injured, why they're not performing at their very best. I think by covering all the elements that you mentioned, Becca, we can really level up the performance and I would say, the long game for a lot of these athletes to go at it for the next 20, 30 years.
Well, and with the nutrition stuff too, I have this, I'm getting drawn to maybe potentially work with younger athletes too, like high school and college, because I feel like when you're young, you don't think about that stuff. You're invincible, right? And then you hit 30 and you're like, oh my gosh, I sneezed and I hurt my back. But it's one of those things too, where I think the preventative message really needs to start at a high school and college level too, so that they can continue that lifestyle change like throughout the rest of their life.
Definitely. Now, at some point, or at one point, I should say that people should be incorporating that recovery work into the normal routine. When does that actually start? Would you say, like, when you talk with a client coming in, is it day one you talk about, hey, you need to be doing this on a regular basis?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. The question, usually we'll talk about it at the beginning, like before the session. Once I look at their questionnaire, I see their lifestyle. Do they have an active or sedentary job? Do they live an active lifestyle like outside of work as well? Do they have kids? Do they have previous injuries? And we discuss that. We discuss the session, and then we even talk afterwards and saying, hey, okay, maybe start incorporating a couple of these moves, like at the gym. I need you to start walking more. You're sitting 8 hours a day. These are some stretches you can do. And then coming in for active recovery work once a month, or even referring to a PT or a dietitian if that's something else, if they need to level up that recovery. And I'm like, hey, go see Dr. Jerry for some dry needling, or go see Hillary as a registered dietitian, because there's only so much I can do on the nutrition side. I love incorporating other people too, even at that first session, to try and get them on the right foot from the beginning.
I love that. And I feel the same way. I think that's why we have such aligned business values
Yeah.
and core values, where I don't think we're the end all be all as PTs either. And I think I love the preventive recovery model that you have, because for clients who've discharged, look, we're going to keep doing stuff to push the envelope of performance. Why not keep ahead of things by seeing a regular appointment with Becca, with Hillary for nutrition and whatnot, to make sure that you gals are doing everything you can to stay ahead of the stuff that is going to keep you back in one day.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know if you knew that if you're over 40, things take longer to heal. So why get hurt in the first place if you can prevent that from happening by doing the stuff that's going to regularly keep your body maintained?
Exactly.
Now, I would say that, and this sort of goes into, I really feel there's a really strong potential for collaboration with massage therapists and physical therapy. And having been a massage therapist back in the day before I was a physical therapist, I have a lot of respect for massage therapists like yourself who have really taken this as a profession and done something amazing with it, to where you can work in prevention or you can do other things with your fitness background. Why do you think that there's a really good collaboration personally with massage therapy and physical therapy?
Because I think there's obviously some things that are outside of my scope of practice. Like, we can't perform dry needling, and I'm a huge component of dry needle. Like,
Me too.
Yes. I kick my people out the door. Please go get some dry needles, because it's just like, why not? It continues to help relieve the muscle strain. And then also, there are some things that PTs know that I don't know. Yes, I have my CPT and I dabble a little bit in, hey, here's some corrective exercises to do at the gym. But you guys go to school for 4 years, you have your doctorate. Like, my knowledge only goes so far.
Right.
And again, it's just like you said earlier, and I tell my people all the time, one, I can't fix you. Like, I can't stand when people say fix me. But I can't fix you. And two, I'm just another tool in the toolbox. I truly believe that in order for people to stay healthy and to prevent injury, you need multiple people
Team
involved.
approach.
You really do. And taking the competitive side out of it, because that tends to be, I think, any business owner or especially people who start their own business, no matter what it is. And it's, why are you going there? You should only see me. And that's not the right approach. You can't do everything for all the people. You have to be able to collaborate with others. And then I think that actually speaks volumes to the clientele and be like, oh, like, you work together with this practitioner. Yes, I do. I love PT.
I love massage therapy.
Yes.
And it's funny because even some of our clients from ETA who come in right now, I'm always like, listen, I'm going to work with Sammy to make sure that these are the things you can do. These are things you might want to limit for now while we go through this recovery process. And by the way, if you haven't already seen Becca for massage, she's amazing for that. So it becomes this amazing thing where it's about just trying to get everybody on board to make sure this person can live the best life that they can.
Oh, absolutely. One, and it is nice too, because even Sammy having East, he's all about collaborating and having business owners like meet each other.
Yeah.
Like, I met you and I was like, hey, you should go check out Empire. And now, and he's a big proponent of recovery too. He has seen me, he's seen you.
Yeah.
And he's what a lot of like gym owners or business owners, I think, sometimes don't understand is, if your clients are feeling good, they're going to continue to see you and they're going to continue to have a membership.
Yeah. So glad you said that. And that's the value that the proposition I always give to the gym owners that I meet. Is like, listen, I want you to keep your members.
Yeah.
And I want them to have a good time in your class.
Yeah.
And if there's any value that I can provide or expertise to help them stay as members, that's the only reason why I want to help out here.
I could not tell you the name of the gym because I really don't remember.
Yeah.
But I remember as I was meeting gym owners, and one of them said, what's in it for me? And I said, you keep uninjured members. I was just like,
how about that?
I was like, I'm a baby. I've been open like a month. Like,
that's right.
I don't really have anything to give you, but like maybe healthy people.
Yeah, that's pretty helpful, I'd say. Now, what are your favorite clients or your ideal clients who you want to work with?
From the beginning, athletes.
Yeah.
That is truly my ideal clientele. Like, getting the opportunity to work with TST last year, I was like, that was my first time working with everyday pro alumni college soccer players. And I was like, this is amazing. I have made it.
Yeah.
And
talk about that, because I was with Concafo. Who were you with again?
I was with Kingdom FC and Quick FC.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I was exhausted.
So, oh my God. Absolutely.
I literally one day I went to one team's Airbnb and another team's hotel. I think I worked on 10 people that day. And I came home and I looked at my husband. He was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, I need a beer. I'm so tired."
Exactly.
But yeah, but athletes, I work with people of all walks of life, people who work at a desk all day, still get their gym workout in every day, or weekend warriors, stay-at-home moms holding new babies.
Yeah.
But athletes is like my bread and butter, where it's, okay, what are you having issues with? What are you trying to achieve? Kind of thing.
That's awesome. And getting back to Concavo, we had spent a whole day at the hotel that Concavo was at. So it was like hours at a time. My associate Megan and I were there just like working on athletes and stuff, like taping people up, getting ready for the night.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." It was a great experience to work with guys at that level of athleticism.
Yeah.
And seeing what they were doing in the field too. It was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing."
It really was. It was cool to watch the TST games
Yes, it
afterwards
was.
too.
Yes, it
I'm
was.
like, thank you today. But it was definitely a lesson learned too, where it was like I quickly found my limitations on how far I could push my body with hands-on
Yeah.
work. Because even at the office, like I
Yes.
sweat during every
Oh, yeah.
session. I'm exhausted at the end of the day. But it was like 10 people that day, and I was just like, that was too much.
It's a lot.
Like,
When I was doing shiatsu back in the day, when I was living in California, same with you, where it was like, I think as students they had student rates for members coming in. So people just paid a lower price. And my hands were literally shaking by the end of the day. It was
you're
crazy.
just dipping your hands in like ice water and just, yeah.
Yeah. And that's another reason why I have such respect for massage therapists. It's really brutal on your body over time.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't do your own self-care.
Yeah. And that's always something that I'm like preaching on some of these like massage Facebook groups I go on, because you have so many people that either came from like a place like Massage Envy where they're busting them out and they only give you like 10 minutes between sessions, and you're doing like 8 to 10 people a day. And I knew that I was in this for the long haul. And I was like, my max is at the office 4 a day, whether it's 60-minute or 90-minute. It is 4 a day. I give myself 30 minutes between clients. I block myself off to go work out every day because that is a non-negotiable. And that way I can continue to do this for a long time. And I charge a higher price because I want to be able to provide an elevated service for people and a tailored service while also looking out for myself and my well-being so that I can provide top-tier service to my clients.
Yeah, I feel like we mirror each other in our approaches there. We charge a higher price too because we want to give the best quality service as a physical therapist, but also because we have a lot of expensive rehab technology that a lot of practices don't use. But we want to make sure that people are getting that one-on-one experience so that we can track their progress over time to make sure that they're actually making headway with the outcomes they're looking for. Otherwise, they're just wasting time.
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot of our clients have come from other PT places where they're seen for 10 minutes, maybe a quick rub down by a PT, literally. It's just like hot pack, cold pack.
Yep.
And they're wondering why they're still in pain after 12 weeks of PT. I'm like, let's take a look. And then did they talk about the root cause? Did they talk about why these kinds of things might be slowing you down or slowing your progress down? And once we get down to the bottom of it, their results tend to accelerate because we've nailed down what's really at the heart of the matter.
Exactly. And that's what you got to do. You can't just keep putting Band-Aids on stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. So, Becca, what do you do? And we already touched on this, but what do you do for your own fitness, for your own longevity, as far as your own like health and stuff?
I go to Empire Training Academy. Shout out, Sammy.
Sammy.
So you will always find me at noon class. It's just the easiest time for me to, just because I'm already at the office. I can block myself off. I can eat some lunch and get back to work. So working out 4 to 5 days a week, because then on the weekends I'm chasing 2 toddlers. So that is a workout in itself.
Miss that.
It's exhausting.
Very.
So we're always busy doing stuff, going outside, walking, biking. And then I used to be a 5:30 a.m. workout person when I went to the previous gym, and I realized I was not getting enough sleep and I was getting injured.
Yeah.
So now it's like, you can't wake me up before 7 a.m. So I make sure I get 8 hours of sleep. Like, I'm really strict on that now, and I feel a lot better. I am really big on eating as best as I can, but also enjoying my life. I'm a big like 80-20 believer.
I'll do there. Just
I'm eating my PLN meals, or I'm prepping at home chicken and rice and asparagus, and that's what my kids are eating. That's what my husband's eating. But if it's Friday and like we're picking up the kids and we're going to Cleveland's, I'm getting a giant cheeseburger and French fries and I'm eating the entire
I
thing.
love it.
Or I'm getting Chick-fil-A or
Yeah.
Bojangles once a month.
Yeah.
I still want to enjoy food
Yeah.
because I still need to fuel my body for as much as I put into at the gym as well. And I think that's like a huge proponent in people like not falling off the wagon. It's like you got to give yourself some grace and you got to still enjoy life and you still have to enjoy food, but within reason.
Definitely.
And working with a registered dietitian really helped me hone in like practices as far as what to eat and how to eat. And I would log my macros at first, but now I'm more like intuitively eating.
Yeah.
And every now and then I'll check stuff and I'm
Yeah,
like,
of course.
okay, like we're good.
Yeah.
I'm not short on anything. But yeah, it's sleep, it's nutrition, it's getting monthly massages. Sometimes I get it twice a week or twice a month if I need to. And working out, like that's my thing.
Yeah.
And I am very much I practice what I preach. So if I tell people you need to sleep 8 hours, I'm sleeping 8 hours. If I tell people you need to watch what you eat, I watch what I eat.
That's great. And obviously it shows. And seeing you in class, you're crushing it.
Thank
And just
you
going
very
at
much.
it. Yeah. Even with 2
I'm
toddlers.
very competitive. I'm like, how much is that guy rowing next to me? I could probably do.
You know what's
yeah.
cool about ETA that I notice is that I feel like everybody in there has either they were a former college athlete, former professional athlete.
Oh yeah.
And everyone in there is ready to crush it, but they'll look over and be like, what are they doing? And then
Oh,
they'll just,
yeah.
I'm the same way in there too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. And so, Becca, so if people want to learn more about you or they want to work with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
So obviously you can go to my website, refittherapy.com. It has my bio on there, services that we offer, address, contact information. But I am always on Instagram. So whether it's on my personal account or work account, so it's just Refit Therapy. It's super simple, but you can always shoot me a DM. I will always answer. But that's usually the quickest way to get in touch with me.
Awesome. For anyone, I can attest to Becca's skills. I highly recommend her. And then because she's so conscientious, I feel very safe in recommending referring clients over to her. So if you've been looking for a massage therapist, if you're a very active person like Becca and I are, and you're looking for somebody who gets that lifestyle and you want something more than what a massage NV might offer, I highly recommend going to see Becca. She is definitely worth every penny that you're going to spend. Looking at that as an investment in your longevity and in how you can optimize your physical well-being so that you can continue training as hard as you can into your 30s and beyond. Becca, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Awesome. Thanks so much for tuning into today's episode. It really does mean a lot to us. And don't forget to share, subscribe, or comment if you got at least 1 or 2 helpful insights or takeaways to help you get to your next level.